Alan Wilson, I got just a really blunt question for you. Look, it's the worst kept secret in politics that you're running for governor. And she has said in recent weeks she's thinking about running for governor. And I got a question about that. I got to tell you, I got a question about that because the date of the investigation by SLED into her allegations dates back to 2023. And yet she has waited till just weeks after announcing that she is thinking about running for governor to target you with this from the floor of Congress. That timing raises a lot of red flags for me. You want to comment on it?
Look, it's kind of crazy how the timing works. I mean, for me to say what I think would be speculation, I can see that. But again, her timing for why she's attacking me and the way that she's attacking me is obviously very interesting. But I want to go back to one thing, Tara, and I have to say this on your show because this is the most important thing that I can say. You can attack Alan Wilson. She can lie about the office. She can make up the fact that we had her case when there's no evidence we did. She can't prove that we did. But the thing that concerns me the most is the men and women that work in my office and the work that we've done over the last 14 years. We've built a robust crime victim services division that did not exist before. We now train all the victim services providers. There was no human trafficking task force before I was Attorney General. Now we have built a huge task force, 1,500 strong with 10 regional task force. We train all the victim services providers, and when we certify the hotlines, we've done all this work with victims advocates and providers, and you've got a congresswoman out there who is basically not just undermining me, and that's fine. I'm an elected official, but she is pulled the rug out from under law enforcement, all of these people who are trying to make victims feel safe, that they can come out and they can call them and they can report to law enforcement. And now she's saying law enforcement stinks. Alan Wilson stinks. Everyone stinks. So call my hotline and we'll take care of you. You just don't open up a hotline. These people have to be trained. They have to be certified. They have to know how to take in the intake information of a victim and then get the proper information to law enforcement. So I'm pleading with people out there. If you are a victim of a crime and you're scared to come forward because you don't think law enforcement or someone will take you seriously, that is not true. That is the most serious thing that we do is take in information from victims. You will be taken serious. You will be taken care of. Call an official hotline. Call law enforcement, for heaven's sake. Don't call a congressperson's hotline because that's a political number. That is not a law enforcement number. And so she has set back the victim services community back decades. And that is something I'm very concerned about. You can attack me because you want to be governor. You can attack me because you think I'm an impediment to that. That's fine. That's just politics. But for God's sake, don't undermine law enforcement. Don't undermine the men and women that are fighting to bring justice to so many people.
Alan Wilson, it seems like there's an easy solution to this problem right now. She calls you. She has your number, right? Will you commit right now to investigating her claims?
No, because I don't investigate.
Or having your office do it.
No, that's just it. I mean, I didn't mean to be so curt with you, Tara, but I'm being transparent. SLED has the case, and then SLED would refer the case to the prosecution agency in the jurisdiction where it occurred.
Right.
We don't get the rape cases directly. Usually, we get them because there's a conflict or there's some issue going on. Now, if SLED comes to us, or if SLED sends it to the solicitor and says, will you take it? And the solicitor says, I can't take it for the foregoing reasons. We will certainly take it, and we will see that it gets, we will see that it is prosecuted. But again, if she's accusing me of dragging my feet and she's accusing me of trying to prevent her from being governor, I don't know that she would want me to prosecute her case. I would say pick a prosecutor in the state. I'll send it to them if you don't trust us.
Okay.
At the end of the day, victims have to have faith and confidence that the person that has their case is going to see it through. Again, I don't know where SLED is going with this. I don't know if the evidence Nancy claims is there. I defer to SLED on that question.
Okay, and I understand the chain of command, and I get what you're saying, right? But these are very serious allegations. And you have said, hey, listen, SLED is looking at the voyeurism part of this. She's got new parts of it she's laid out. So if she calls you because she has your number, will you make sure this is taken seriously and get into the right hands? Because it sounds like there's some more of it.
Absolutely.
You will personally handle it and make it right if she calls you.
Well,
do you want to challenge her to call you right now on the air? You want to do that? Because that seems like, to me, it seems like a really easy way to solve this problem.
Look, she's had my number for years. She can call me at any time. I don't think she will ever call me. I mean, she's basically, 4 weeks ago, she said I was a hero for protecting women and I was a real man. And then she's now saying I'm not a real man and I don't protect women. This person's all over the map. I do not think she'll ever call me. But if she were to call me, I would certainly take her call. But the most important thing we got to remember is a state law enforcement division agency has this case. They are investigating it, and it needs to be taken seriously. It needs to be investigated thoroughly. We got to give the men and women in law enforcement an opportunity. She's saying she's saying I'm dragging my feet, which she's basically saying they're dragging their feet because they have the case. But we don't know what they know. You have to give law enforcement an opportunity to do their job and not throw them under the bus for political gain. And SLED has to be given that opportunity. And listen, when if SLED makes a charge or if SLED gives a report to a prosecution agency, they should take it seriously. They should 100% pursue it if it is a prosecutable case, and she should get justice. Nancy and any victim that she's alleged should be entitled to justice, 100%, absolutely.
Okay, so Nancy Mace, I'm going to challenge you. I can do it. Call Alan Wilson. Get back to her. Call him. I'm sure you want to straighten this out. Call him. Call him. Let's straighten this out. Let's not have this be national news. This is really silly. And let's get the show on the road. If something happened here, then women need to be protected. If not, we need to get to the bottom of it. Call him and start the process. I'm challenging you right now. Just give him a call. This is just silly.
I would encourage her, Tara, to actually call the state law enforcement division. I'm not sure that she has. Those are the people handling the case right now.
No, I get that, but the accusation's about you. So I want to see if she'll pick up the phone call and look, Alan Wilson, I know I could call you with something like this and I could say, look, we have a problem here. And I know you would take care of it. I know you would. I know you'd help me. And so I want to see what happens. If we challenge her and I know you will at least handle a referral and get her to the right people, which sometimes is very hard to find in government.
Absolutely. I would take the call, and if she asked me to help get her in touch with SLED, I would call the chief of SLED myself with her on the phone, 100%. Okay. But she's never done that before, and I don't think she ever will.
All right. Let's see. Challenge has been laid down. And I'll call her again today because I keep calling her. And it's been going on for weeks, and I'll call her and see. I'll just let her know that challenge has been laid. I've called all our offices, and call me back. I'm a nice person. And I will pass this on to her.
Tara, you are a lovely person. I've enjoyed it. And even when you're angry at me in the years, I always take your calls and then I go on your show and I answer your questions. But here's the thing. She's calling me a liar and saying that I'm lying about not having your case. Ask her this question. Name one person in my office. Name one person. Give a name of someone that she has spoken to or that law enforcement has spoken to. Give me one name. One name. If she can give me one name, I will fire that person and I will admit I was wrong. She can't give us one name because we don't have the case.
Alan Wilson, this is getting really, really interesting. Anything else you want to add here?
At the end of the day, if you're a victim of a crime, please call law enforcement, report the evidence of a crime. I was accused of telling a victim's representative to not send me evidence. She said that in her speech. That is categorically false. What I would have said, and what I've said a million times, is if someone calls me that says they have evidence of a crime, I say, don't give it to me. I'm the prosecutor. Give it to law enforcement. They're the ones that can make the investigative file that we can prosecute or that a local prosecutor can prosecute. But victims, have faith in law enforcement, have faith in the hotlines that are run by professionals, not congressional staff. Use those resources. People are there. They will work for you. They will fight for you. Don't let someone undermine the system for political gain. That's my message to victims out there.
Alan Wilson, thank you so much for joining us this morning on 98.9 WORD.